All right, this palette, keeping for sure, for sure. Oh. Hey y'all, thank you so much for clicking on the video. And I don't know if I like that new intro yet, but we're just gonna keep rolling. I am doing perhaps my last, probably not my last, but another eyeshadow palette declutter. All of 2021, if y'all have been following me since then, like it's been like declutter after declutter after declutter. And it's like, I feel like I've been doing big like chunks at a time. Like every time I declutter, I got rid of like half my stuff, but yeah, here I am again with more than I actually use. And I swear y'all, I'm gonna do one more round of declutters, and the end of that is going to be like a truly minimal functional makeup collection of a working woman. I swear. I decided to split up the eyeshadow palettes versus the rest of my makeup collection because I feel like palettes are their own entity, you know what I mean? So behind me I have my storage for the current makeup collection that I own, and this little cabinet, it's actually really small, but this little cubby has my eyeshadow palettes. But there are actually a couple other ones in another storage container that doesn't fit very well in my tiny little bookcase. All right, so I have just like 3 other little items here. Both of these, the ColourPop Pretty Guardian collab and the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles, I've actually decluttered these before. I posted them on my Mercari, which by the way, I got kicked off of Mercari forever. That's a whole different story. But these never sold, so I just kind of moved them with me. But I have a friend that I already asked, she likes makeup too, and I am just gonna put everything aside for her. She said, don't throw anything away, give it all to me. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be a little more cutthroat this time because I know that there is like a destination for this makeup, even if it's something really, really nice, like Charlotte Tilbury, which we'll get to. I don't know, I'll feel free letting it go because I know it's gonna go to someone who's gonna use it. That was a really long prologue, I guess. I have this little box for me to put my decluttered makeup in on this process. And let's begin. First things first, before I even get into this shelf, I'm just gonna put both of these in that box. BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles is a beautiful pastel rainbow palette. I don't wear colors like these often enough anymore for me to keep a dedicated palette for it, and I have decluttered it before. Kind of the same story for the ColourPop Pretty Guardian palette. It's missing a glitter because those glitters are awful and also really not the greatest thing for your cornea, so I took it out. And the rest of it is actually a really beautiful pastel color scheme, but again, I already decluttered it. I already have decided that once in the past, and minimal, functional is what we're going for here. Oh, okay, she's okay, she's okay. So first I have the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette, and this is the only palette that I've bought in the year 2022. I did make a dedicated video to this as well, and it's my newest palette. It's the most beautiful, like in terms of packaging. It is also the largest palette I own. I typically don't like palettes that are more than 12 shades, but this has 18, and I'm just gonna keep it. It's my newest one. I'm gonna play with it a little more in my life, so gonna be keeping the Lunar Beauty. I am going to declutter something I never thought I would declutter, which is the Nabla Side by Side palette. It is a functional nude palette, or a neutral palette, I mean. And the thing is, I don't really, as much as I appreciate the cool tones being in here in the bottom row, I don't really use them. So this is effectively the palette I use. And let me hold it up by the Lunar Beauty one. Like a lot of the colors in the top 3 rows of the side by side are in the Lunar Beauty. I only need one. I already picked which one I'm keeping, so I'm gonna let this one go. Declutter. Ooh, next one. This is the Daydream palette by Alter Ego. Beautiful palette, beautiful packaging. All of the pans are magnetic, and y'all know I had a phase where I was really, really into rearranging makeup palettes, and I just love magnetic palettes for giving me that capability. I'm gonna declutter this one. I like it. The fact that these have made it through like 4 declutters by now, I love these palettes, okay? But I'm aiming to keep 4, and that includes mini palettes, like 4 pans, I'm counting those. So this is probably gonna be the only big palette that I keep. It's had its time in my collection for about 1.5 years or so, 2 years. So time to let it go, and it's a beautiful palette. Next, I'll go into something I am keeping. So far I'm keeping 1, and I'm decluttering 4. I'm keeping for sure. This is my daily palette. I'm telling you, my daily palette. This is the Pat McGrath. I don't even know what it is called. This is one of the holiday palettes from 2020, I think. Illicit something. That's not right. But this is one of the palettes that has 4 of purely like the special shades, the special Pat McGrath shades. And I've owned actually 2 other full-size Pat McGrath palettes in my life, the Divine Rose 1 and the Divine Rose 2. And honestly, y'all, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So I like the special shades, which is why I love this palette in particular, the little 4-pan where it's only that. But the other shades, y'all, they were just good eyeshadows, but there was nothing $125 magical about them, you know what I mean? So keeping this one, my daily palette, I use this dark brown, pretty much these 2 shades. I just use those 2 and it's my look. It's what I did for my eyes today too. Just a quick little defining my own natural eye shape. I love that. Love that. Next. Okay, let's declutter. Oh, I'm gonna do this one that I sneak peeked earlier. This is the classic Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad. She's an icon, she's a legend, she's beautiful, but soft pink tones. I have that already. So, and I actually have only used this like 3 times, maybe, since I got it. So it's almost new condition. This one shade though did arrive to me shattered, and I just kind of pressed it back in myself. I'm actually not really one to message customer service a lot, but it still works. So gonna declutter this and give it away to the next one. Like I said, I'm only keeping one big palette, right? So does a 12-pan classify as a big palette? What do I do with this one? I really, really love this pink shade, but I'm gonna have a pink shade in the Nude Prism. Let me look at them side by side. I mean, clearly very different palettes, but this pink shade, yeah, it's right there. Okay, what else do I like about this palette? The brown. I have a brown in here, whatever. I don't need to keep a palette for a brown. I'm just gonna give this one away. When I think about when's the last time I reached into this palette, it's been months. Okay, let's talk about these 2 ones. Oh, this is from Amazon. It's an Amazon palette, Lamora Exposed Nudes, and it's one of the Amazon bestsellers. My sister got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago. These dark shades I really do enjoy. These kind of cool toned dark for one and done shadow looks, but like this entire top row kind of ends up looking the same on the eye. I'm gonna declutter it. I really appreciate my sister for giving this to me, and I've used it a good amount, so goodbye. All right, this palette, keeping for sure. This is my favorite Nabla palette, and Nabla is one of my favorite powdered makeup product brands. So this is a cutie palette in the platinum shade variation. It is so good. So I've been talking a lot about kind of missing cool tones in some of the palettes I'm decluttering. But you know what? If I want a cool toned, smoky shimmer eyeshadow, it's right here. I got it. Oh, and this is also a really good dark brown. This is like a really, really ginger, orange, terracotta colored brown. And this is like you know what? I haven't swatched anything in this video. I'm gonna swatch this one shade, just this one shade for y'all. It's called Luxuriance, and just along the palm of my thumb, it is unfreaking. Look at that! Nothing compares. So definitely keeping this palette. Oh, you guys will see Nabla in the rest of my makeup collection too. Next video though. All right, we're almost done. Oh, this is like blushes and highlighters and stuff. Oh, it looks disgusting. I'm gonna do this in the second to declutter video. So the last, oh, I actually have 2. These 2 little magnetic palettes full of singles. I know it's in this palette. I feel like there's no way I'm gonna declutter it, but I haven't used these again in months, but they're really, really spectacular eyeshadows. These are JD Glow. All my JD Glow singles. Okay, I'm gonna swatch another one of these just because it's so good. So this is the shade Unexpected. Yes, Unexpected, which is my favorite single shadow by far of JD Glow. You know what? Maybe I should just keep this shade. You can clearly tell that that's the shade I've used the most as well. So let me give you a little swatch of Unexpected. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. Is it focusing? Focus, yes. Unexpected is so, oh my gosh. And it's pretty neutral in terms of the base too. So I'm just gonna keep Unexpected. Oh, Good God is really pretty though. Let me give you a swatch of Good God as well. Right next to Unexpected. So that's what Good God looks like. Wow. Actually, swatching it next to Unexpected, it kind of doesn't compare, does it? It's a different vibe, you know what I mean? Like this is like bam, like in the face, and Good God is more sheer, like a topper kind of thing. You know who would enjoy it? That friend I'm talking about, she'll like it. So I'm just gonna declutter all of these. And I have one more magnetic palette. I guess I can sit in the middle now because I already talked about all that stuff. So this palette holds a lot of my Sydney Grace and ColourPop. So these 11 are ColourPop, these 9 are Sydney Grace, and these 4 are Alamar Cosmetics. And when's the last time I used these? I survived like 2 months with just the this Pat McGrath palette and like this little pouch of makeup. Like this was legit all of my makeup. All the makeup I used, like completely ignore everything in the background. This is the makeup I used for 2 months when I was packing and moving and that whole process, which by the way, I did post a house tour, an apartment tour of my place, the very last video. All that to say, I haven't used these in months, even though they're gorgeous. They are great shadows that I feel really good about letting go and passing on. I've spent a lot of money on makeup. Oh, my heart hurts at how much money I've spent on makeup, especially around 2019, 2020. It was a dark time. Wow, I kept 3 eyeshadow palettes. Oh, and 1 single, but I'm not gonna count that as a palette. So I kept 3 eyeshadow palettes, and 2 of the, like this is a 4-pan and this is a 6-pan palette, and I'm counting them as full items, and 1 18-pan, which has like everything else I could really want just for bringing out my own features and that kind of thing. Like I said, even this was enough for 2 months of my life. So that period just really showed me that I don't need to be keeping all this stuff. And then I'll just quickly run through the palettes that I am decluttering. So the 2 magnetic palettes with all the singles. I have the ColourPop at Foresight, the Raw Beauty Christie collab, this Amazon palette, and the Alter Ego Daydream. The last 3 big palettes are the Nabla Side by Side, the ColourPop Pretty Guardian collab, BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles, and then the last palette, which is this little 4-pan, is the iconic Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad. So there you have it. This is what I'm keeping, those 3, and this is everything I'm decluttering. Love that for me. What is that, like a 75% declutter? Love that. Well, thank y'all so much for your time. I hope that was fun, and y'all already know what's coming next. The rest of it. So be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I never ask y'all to give videos a thumbs up or comment because I always forget, but you should give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Comment. When's the last time you moved? Because that's on my mind, because I literally moved like last week. I actually think I'm gonna phase out my old outro. I'm phasing out my outro and my intro. Whole new slate. I'm really fighting the urge to do that outro now. Bye.